Ladies and gentlemen, according to the same media that said that Donald Trump was an operative of the Kremlin and that he committed tax fraud and that he pressured people in Georgia and that he paid Stormy and that was a campaign finance violation, all of these things that are never crimes, that are simply the most apoplectic, sad, and malicious and petulant attempt at getting a former president or current president when he was president just because they despise him. Nothing to do with the rule of law. But they do despise this man so much they've devoted their lives and souls to trying desperately to lock him up in the manner that Democrats who committed crimes should have experienced. But anyway, Rolling Stone, Trump asks advisors for battle plans to attack Mexico in 2024 if he regains Oval Office. Okay, so there's a paywall here, but on my phone, let's look at it. According to two sources familiar with the situation. This is now what is journalism. Journalism is, do you have a source that says Trump's going to do something? Not do you have a source on who actually destroyed a pipeline, an underwater pipeline that everyone's talking about. No, not that. Not that, because that source could be correct pertaining to... so when Seymour Hersh has a source, no, you can't. But a source that says, and he hasn't always been right, but he's been right a lot. He's a fantastic journalist. He's been right a lot more times than most other journalists today. But if you look, there's no evidence here that he's going to invade Mexico. There's no evidence at all. In fact, I can tell you with absolute certainty, not having anything to do with Trump's campaign or former President Donald Trump, he will not invade or attack Mexico, ever. It will never, ever, ever, ever happen. Now, what they'll do is they'll take a story and they'll Trump and the tough guy allure of invading Mexico. So this is the Washington Post. They have no evidence either, because the Rolling Stone article talks about sources. Let's see if we can go ahead and find Trump and the tough guy allure. Okay, so here. Let's see. A new report from Rolling Stone. The Washington Post is quoting Rolling Stone, which quotes unnamed sources. Okay? So there are unnamed sources. Sources, according to two sources familiar with the situation. Do you understand? I'm going to take a screenshot of this. This is called journalism. Two sources familiar with the situation. Now, does Rolling Stone ever have any sources on Hunter Biden's laptop, on money from different intelligence fronts or corporations serving the interests of foreign intel agencies working with Hunter and everyone around him, including Joe? Does the Rolling Stone ever have a source there? You could rest assured, no. There are no sources. They will never have the Rolling Stone, Vanity Fair, Esquire, Washington Post, New York Times, The Atlantic. They will never have any sources. CNN, MSNBC, detrimental to the Democratic Party. They will always say the same thing all at once. And they'll say it very loud, and they'll repeat it. This is how phony, fake, absurd nonsense gets spread. And two sources familiar with the matter at Rolling Stone then come out with Trump's going to invade Mexico. Then the Washington Post jumps on that, says, well, according to Rolling Stone. And then others say, well, according to the Washington Post, citing the Rolling Stone. And so you get lies, and this is from the same establishment that looks at Trump and said, oh, he's full of lies. All he does is lie. All media does most of the time is lie about Trump. Okay? He never committed the crimes that he's accused of committing. He never wanted to do the things that he's accused of wanting to do. He never praised the people he's accused of praising. He never did all the things that he was accused of. 95% of the things that this man's been accused of, Donald Trump, he hasn't done. Hit subscribe to this channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. Go to hagoodman.com to read my writing on The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. I understand I've been published in many publications, and a lot. I've been published a lot. People don't know most of humanity has no idea who I am, which is fantastic. But thank God my channel's doing well. We're over 204,000 subs. I understand what getting published entails. The editors look over your work, and they oftentimes run the headlines. But it's like you can pitch an article to these editors. If you're if you're working as staff at Rolling Stone or wherever, okay, sure, you're probably going to have some sources, but are you ever going to have any source where that gives you information detrimental to Biden? Is it always going to be a situation where it's an unnamed source that says that Trump wants to invade Mexico or wants to take over Mars or wants to start a nuclear Armageddon? Is there any other, do you have any sources, ladies and gentlemen, in media, detrimental, unnamed sources, anonymous sources, detrimental to the Bidens or Hunter or Hillary or Bill or their foundation? Nothing? Anything? Because otherwise, the Wizard of Oz type of farce is pretty much over. How many? This is like a narcotic to morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats. How many more articles can you read about Trump doing something outlandish? Nobody believes it. The left is numb to it now. The walls are closing in. The walls are closing in on Trump. The walls are closing on Trump. Could you imagine if they spent 1/100th of the effort looking at Hunter's laptop, where there actually is 150 suspicious banking activity reports linked to emails within the New York Post? The New York Post is suspended and silenced and censored, and other publications could just run with it. And Washington Post and Times do this all the time. He gave classified data. Well, how do you know? He gave classified data to the Russians. How do you know? Oh, well, there's 2 unnamed sources. Oh, did he have servers with transferring top secret data like the Honorable James Comey stated? Does he have actual servers? Secret servers for 4 years like Madam Secretary? And I think Hillary Clinton will be the 24 nominee. By the way, no disrespect to the Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone magazine, I used to love reading it. Now it's just like the Washington Post, New York Times, The Atlantic. They're all the same publication. They're all the same publication when it comes to politics, at least. It's the same thing written all the time. Trump bad, Democrats good. Trump bad, Democrats good. Or no, not even. No critique of Democrats. It's just the same thing all the time, and yet still almost half the electorate will choose Trump. It's not. There are diminishing returns to constantly accusing Trump of devouring the planet based on anonymous sources. There's diminishing returns, okay? It doesn't really, he's not, there's, look, there are diminishing returns, okay? Mexico's president even defended Trump recently regarding all the absurd allegations against him. So he's not going to invade Mexico. If anything, Trump is the antithesis of a Lincoln Project, Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld, Biden, Democrat, Republican combo in terms of foreign policy. He wants greater peace, negotiated settlements. He was the first president to step foot in North Korea, Doha Agreement, Abraham Accords, got us out of a never-ending war. Okay? He's not going to invade. If there's anyone that's going to invade, it's Biden and Democrats. They're the ones who have the Lincoln Project in their pocket. Okay? If anyone is the militant one, it's not Trump. Okay? It ain't Trump. That's for sure. The monster. So You'll probably get more unnamed sources. I'm here to tell you it's almost certainly complete nonsense. Give me your thoughts. Thank you.